Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are well, I hope you are safe, I hope you are healthy, and I hope that you are not too bored or have too much stress and you're able to enjoy this time. Right now we're going to read Chapter 8 of Sideways Stories, Myron. Here we go. Myron had big ears. I don't think that that's a necessary way to start the chapter. He was elected class president. The children in Mrs. Jewell's class expected him to be a good president. Other presidents were good speakers. Myron was even better. He was a good listener. That is a very important leadership quality, to be able to listen. Not very many people are able to do that well. And right here. Oops. Right here. But he had a problem. He didn't know what a class president was supposed to do. So he asked, "What am I supposed to do?" "It's a difficult job," said Mrs. Jewell, "but you can do it. You must turn the lights on every morning and turn them off at the end of the day." "What?" asked Myron. "As a class president, you must learn to listen," said Mrs. Jewell. "I'll repeat myself only one more time. You must turn the lights on every morning." "I heard you the first time," said Myron. "It just doesn't sound like much of a job." "Oh, it certainly is," said Mrs. Jewell. "Without light, I can't teach, and the children can't learn. Only you can give us that light. I think it is a very important job." "I guess so," said Myron. He wasn't convinced. "Here, let me show you how to work a light switch," said Mrs. Jewell. "I already know how," said Myron. "I've been turning lights on and off all my life." "Very good," said Mrs. Jewell. "You'll make a fine president." Ugh. Myron wanted to be the best president ever, but it was such an easy job, he thought, that anybody could do it. When school let out that day, Myron stayed behind. He turned out the lights by flicking the switch down. "Excellent," said Mrs. Jewell. Mrs. Jewell is awfully strange. On his way home, Myron heard a horrible noise. First, there was a loud screeching, then a sharp squeal, a roaring engine, and then the very faint sound of a girl crying. Myron ran to see what had happened. Dana was bent over in the middle of the road. "What's the matter?" asked Myron. "My dog Puxy was hit by a car," Dana cried. "Who did it?" asked Myron. "I don't know," Dana sobbed. "They sped away." "Well, that's not important," said Myron. "We've got to try to save Pugsy." Pugsy lay unconscious in the street. Myron carefully picked her up. He carried her 2 miles to the vet. Dana cried at his side. "Don't worry, Dana," said Myron. "She'll be all right." But he wasn't really so sure. He gave Pugsy to the vet, walked Dana home, then walked home himself. Okay, I think I have a new favorite character. This guy is wonderful. He didn't just walk past when he saw someone upset. He didn't say that's a problem too big for me to handle. He said, "I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to give it my whole heart." He carried this dog 2 miles. He walked her home because he wanted to make sure she was okay. Ugh, I love this kid. Okay, I'm right here. Dana was so upset that she forgot to thank him. Myron didn't mind. He thought that was what being class president was all about. The next morning, before he went to school, Myron went to Dana's house. Pugsy was there. She seemed all right. Dana petted her. Pugsy licked her face. See, Myron, she's all right, said Dana. The vet said that you brought her just in time. Hi, Pugsy, said Myron. He petted her. Pugsy bit his hand! Oh, I guess she doesn't know you, said Dana. She was unconscious yesterday when you saved her life. Dana's mother put some medicine and a Band-Aid on Myron's hand. Then she drove the children to school. They were late. They ran up the stairs to Mrs. Jewell's class. The room was completely dark. It's about time you got here, Myron, said Mrs. Jewell. We have no lights. Why didn't somebody else just turn them on? Asked Myron. Because you're the class president, said Mrs. Jewell. Show Stephen how to work the lights. From now on, he will be class president. Myron showed Stephen how to turn on the lights. He flicked the switch up. At the end of the day, Myron showed Stephen how to turn the lights off. He flicked the switch down. After a week, Stephen finally caught on. He made a good president. The lights were on every morning. Myron, who was president for only a day, was the best president in the history of Wayside School. It was just that nobody knew it. Okay, I think this is my favorite chapter so far. There are a lot of actually really great themes, even though it was still a silly chapter. I love that last line. Nobody knew it. But is that the important thing? Is it important that everyone knows you're a good person? That a lot of people see you doing good things? That a lot of people see you saving the dog or comforting your friend or smiling at that person who doesn't have many friends? Is it important that people know that you do those things? Or is it more important that you just rock and are a good person because that's who you are? You don't do it for the attention. And I think that's how Myron was. When people needed him, he was there, no questions asked. It didn't matter if he didn't get all the glory. The dog, for goodness sakes. He saved the dog's life and the dog didn't even appreciate it. But that's not why Myron was a good person. He did it because on the inside, he had a good heart. That's who he was. And it didn't matter that no one was able to recognize that yet. Someone will someday. Because in the end, when you have a really good heart, people can't help but to notice that. And I'm very confident that Myron will have a wonderful future. All right. So far, that's my favorite character, Myron. I would love to know who your favorite character is, and maybe we can do some neat activities with this book once more people are able to enjoy all of the stories. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will post one more video today. I'm trying to post 3 videos each day, and then after our next video, which will be Chapter 9, Maricia, then we'll take a little break. Goodbye. I will see you all soon.